I'm going to show you how to take apart and repair the Yamaha P45 piano.
These model numbers too, they are essentially the same piano. Your keys could be noisy.
Hear that slap? Not good. That's what I want.
That could be caused because a screw that holds down the keys could have started to walk off and loosen up, or the silicone grease has dried up. If a key is wobbly, something could have cracked. I can show you how to fix and repair all of this. Use a couch as your work surface. The tools and material you will need are a Phillips head screwdriver or a power drill with an extender, a silver Sharpie marker, silicone grease, an egg crate, and 2-part epoxy formulated to bond plastic. If your drill has a torque setting, I set mine to the second lowest option, and make sure you are on the screwdriver mode, not the drill mode. Flip your piano upside down and then start unscrewing each one of the 58 screws. I recommend not using the fastest speed if your drill has that type of control. Fast-moving metal screws on plastic will cause a lot of heat, and you just don't want that. Take your time. Don't remove the lid just yet. These ribbon cables need to be disconnected. Flip your piano around and then open the lid gently like this. I have a strip of silver tape here. Yours will be a foam piece of adhesive. I was in this once before. Just make sure those ribbons are not stuck down, and then pull them straight off the circuit board. There's 2 ribbon cables. They just pull straight out. No pinching to unlock them. Simple, straight out. There is a piece of plastic that separates the ribbons from interfering with the key mechanism. It's held on by 3 small screws. Take those screws off and then gently remove this piece of plastic and set it aside. The bottom of the case can now come free. Put that aside and locate and mark with the Sharpie marker the 7 screws that hold the key bed to the top case. You will want to mark these 7 screws because once you take them out, you'll notice a lot of holes and you won't know which ones to put the screws back into. Now the key bed can come off and you can put it aside and then remove the top case so you can work on the key bed. Each octave is held on by 4 screws. Remove them and then gently lift out the keys. Do not force anything. If you have a broken key, it will likely be the black key, and this part right here is the stress point. It will crack in that location. Get yourself a bread clip, cut it down into a small rectangle, and use the epoxy to glue it right here. You'll be good to go. Separate the 3 key assemblies, and then you're ready for the epoxy. Mix the 2-part epoxy. Apply just a small amount. A little goes a long way. The goal here is to keep these pieces from rattling. You want to bond them together. Now, of course, this means if you ever have an issue, you'll have to replace all of them, an entire octave. In other words, you can't just buy the black key to replace just the black key, because this will be one solid unit after it dries, believe me. Now it's time for the silicone grease. You will see the areas that already have grease on them. It is these inside areas and the areas on top of those little pillars that shoot up. Both of those sections need grease. Anywhere you see grease, you can apply more. These white parts, probably overkill to add grease there, but while you have it open, you might as well do it. Gently reapply the key assembly. Do not force anything. Test the actions of the keys just to make sure everything is working properly. At this point, you just follow the steps in reverse to reassemble the piano. Make sure those ribbon cables are free. Did you mark these with a Sharpie marker? Here's where you will be glad you did. Reassemble the 7 screws to attach the key bed to the top of the case. There are a few more steps, but if this was helpful, please like the video. That helps the channel out a lot. Reattach the ribbon cable assembly. Make sure the ribbon cables are in the assembly properly. Push the ribbons into the circuit board. They'll go straight in. It will not take much force. As I mentioned, just follow the steps in reverse to get everything back together, and you have successfully serviced your piano.
The plastic slapping sound is gone.